The reason people ask leaders this question is because women's single-sex spaces and sports depend on it. A woman is an adult human female. Only those who are happy to let males into women's spaces or who are too scared of abusive activists to answer the question truthfully have any difficulty saying that. And it is the failure of leaders to answer the question, what is a woman, that covers up the horrific impacts of this policy failure. This man, after being released from prison, repeatedly breached his sex offender reporting obligations. He then committed a serious sexual assault on a woman and was convicted yet again. But the second time he was convicted and sentenced, the Australian media and the court which sentenced him called him a woman and placed him in a women's prison. Is this disgusting, vile man who raped his own 6-year-old daughter a woman? The majority of gymnastics participants in Australia are young girls. Last week, though, under the cover of the referendum date announcement, Gymnastics Australia announced a policy that says, within Gymnastics Australia and Australian Gymnastics Organisation managed facilities, people have the right to use changing and bathroom facilities which best reflects their gender identity. This means that males can use women's change rooms where young girls are changing, and there is nothing that those girls or their parents can do to stop that. It's as if Gymnastics Australia has willfully chosen to ignore everything that has ever been learnt about safeguarding young girls from opportunistic, predatory male sex abuse in exchange for a few extra award points from a lobby group which has its logo plastered all over this same Gymnastics Australia policy.
I want you to make your comments to the chair.
Of course, Madam Acting Deputy President, because if you say that it's an adult human female, then you need to explain why a man who raped his 6-year-old daughter was called a woman and placed in a women's prison in Australia. And you need to explain to Australian women and girls all over the country why they are no longer entitled to single-sex sport or health services or crisis support. But most importantly, you need to listen to the calls of women and girls from right across this country who are asking you to act and restore the rights of Australian women and girls to have single-sex sport and spaces.
Thank you, Claire Chandler, Senator for Tasmania, Australia. Millions of women, girls and parents around the world will agree with you 100%, and I know that on behalf of nearly everyone in New Zealand, they will also agree with you. The Prime Minister of New Zealand, Chris Hipkins, doesn't even know what a woman is, and in my personal view, he is an incredibly weak and immoral adult human male, in other words a man, who is failing in every aspect of his leadership duties. Thank you for listening. Geraint, on behalf of WhangareiTim.